Hello, welcome to the Witless Weebs podcast. This is going to be our third episode, and I am Silver, joined by my co-host.
Luden, hello. And
And today we have a
yeah.
special guest. Special guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
No, I'm Crash.
No? Okay. All right.
Or Manga Crash, I guess.
Manga Crash.
It's Master
you
Crash.
might know them from their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Popular YouTube channel, Manga Crash.
Yeah.
3 million subscribers.
They actually don't talk about manga at all. It's really weird that they call themselves that.
Yeah.
I'm joking. They do. I'm pretty sure. No, they
Yeah.
do. I've checked out. I didn't watch all your videos, but I did skim through some videos just to kind of get an idea of what your content's like before.
I don't expect anyone to have actually watched all my videos.
I watch them pretty regularly, actually.
Oh,
I mean, of course, not everything, but the topics I'm interested in, I usually watch.
Yeah, I just don't watch a lot of analysis content, so that's on me. It's not like anything to do with your channel specifically. I did go through your videos a little bit though, just to get to know your channel a bit better before we do this podcast.
Damn.
That was a loud car.
That was a loud car.
That's gonna happen with my side as well because I live near the highway, so just be ready.
That's fair. It's not too bad. And yeah. I'm sick. Sorry if I think the mic picked that up. I don't know.
Today we have Crash here with us because we want to ask Crash some questions. Because
this will be an interview.
Yeah, like as scuffed as it may be, we try to do it as an interview type of thing. Because I think not that many people are that familiar with content creators or what they do, especially like in the manga sphere. So it's nice to have one that we can ask some questions and like.
Yeah, and it's also like cool. There's also maybe some topics that you just want to do, but are interested in, but can't do a full video on. So maybe we can go over some of those things here.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds nice.
Some questions will be directly about your channel, probably, and some will just be general questions and about manga.
Did you guys wrote a list of questions, or are you just
we have.
I wrote down a list of questions. After looking, I looked through every single one of your videos, not watch them, just look through them, and then I watched one or two. Not all the way through. Sorry. Again, it's not issue with you. Just don't watch analysis stuff that much.
The thing is, I also I love something like content creators. Like I have friends of so many, but it's hard to actually watch like videos for all of your friends. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like
except with this podcast, all our friends have to watch this.
Yes.
If they don't, they're bad friends. That's just the rule. Yeah.
But like that's the thing. Like I also have.
I'm joking.
Have quite a few content creator friends, and like for some I watch almost every video because I'm like really big fan of their style. But there are a lot of content creators where I just watch like one video a month or something because like
yeah.
The only friend that I genuinely watched every single video the moment they posted was My Name is Doofy. They haven't posted. Yeah, he hasn't posted a video in a while, so
I miss Doofy's content, but yeah.
Yeah, I think he is trying to make a new one. I don't wanna.
I'm really excited once he comes back. Maybe we can get him on the podcast too someday.
I'm sure he'd be.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment people you want to see on the podcast.
Yes, and like if you post someone like Chuck Norris, we will try and get Chuck Norris on this podcast.
We will try.
We will try. We can't say that we get him, but we try.
I'll DM him if I can. I don't know if his DMs are.
Does Chuck Norris even have some social media platform? I don't even know.
I'm actually not sure. Yeah.
He's on Truth Social, probably. If you don't know what that is, that's fine.
I heard honestly better. Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to get started with questions?
Yeah, we can get started on the questions. All right. You want to ask first, Luden?
I can ask the first one.
Whatever question you want.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be from the list.
I think the first that we have on the list is actually the best one to start off, and
Okay.
it is, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel?
Okay, I
Uh,
was looking at a different list. Okay. Yeah,
you guys have
I'm
different
on the
lists.
right one now. I was gonna something completely different. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay. I think I always wanted to do a YouTube channel since like the late 2000s. We had the channel Awesome
Mm-hmm.
with a nostalgia critic
Yeah.
and a bunch of guys, and I used to watch that as a teen, and I used to love their content and wanted to be part of that. Um, so I actually started like doing YouTube videos like 2008, 2009. I did like some really bad stuff, like really rough videos.
Was that
Um,
on a different channel or did you delete those? Because
it
I
is,
did look through your channel and I think your earliest video you have up is from 3 years ago. I want
yeah,
to say.
yeah, yeah. That's on another channel. Some of the videos are
Okay.
still up, um, but it's kind of like a personal channel that I just randomly
Yeah.
put stuff there occasionally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um,
I was just curious.
yeah, no, I was gonna do it in the same channel at first, but then a
Mhm.
friend of mine told me that that's not a good idea, and I just, I don't know anything about YouTube's, and he like I think his sister had like a 3,000 or 300,000 sub channel, so it's like I'm gonna take his advice then.
Good.
And I think it
Yeah,
was a good advice. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it helps with SEO. Uh, not I don't know
Mm.
if SEO is the right word, but like phrase, but like
Yeah,
it's
and it makes more sense to have like a channel
yeah,
that started like 3 years ago, and have like every single video you can go back and it's manga
yeah,
related. Then go back and see videos from like 2009 where I'm playing video games in Portuguese. It's like it's not the same thing.
yeah.
I'm sure those videos would attract a ton of views
Oh man.
nowadays.
The thing is, I wanted those videos to be kind of like angry video game
Just to
nerd.
look back on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I wanted like when I made those videos, I wanted them to be like angry video game nerd style videos, but I
Oh,
sucked
yeah.
at
Yeah,
making that style of content. So what I did is accidentally invent let's plays because let's play I mean invented, probably there's probably channels that did the same thing, but like let's plays channel got big, I
Yeah.
think like 3 or 4 years after I did those videos, and were essentially let's plays. So I think if I had stayed in that course, maybe I could like have gotten a piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we'll never know.
You
could
were
be
a
a streamer.
pioneer. You were
Maybe
just
you'd
too
have a
early for your
Fortnite
time.
skin.
I did not have a Fortnite on 2009. I played Fortnite, but I'm really bad at it.
Yeah,
I used to play like it's like really old games, that you could emulate,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
Super Castlevania, Sonic One,
Oh, yeah, nice.
this kind of stuff.
I haven't
Like the,
played any of those. I saw the
I mean,
Castlevania anime, but that's about it.
I
Yeah,
mean, but those
Castlevania
were
was
like
fun.
the retro games that like kickstarted the whole Let's Play scene. Like,
Yeah, well, I was just trying to imitate other people,
yeah.
uh, so that made sense.
Yeah,
Um,
you were
but
faking
yeah,
because you didn't invent your content,
yeah,
you just stole it.
but
No, but
yeah,
I do think that's what most people do is they like find people they're inspired by. And even with your
Yeah.
current channel, you said you were inspired by a nostalgia critic. So
yeah,
I think that's how most people get their start. They get inspiration from someone else.
yeah.
True.
It's
Except
essentially
us. We're the first anime podcast ever.
yeah.
Never
Didn't
been done before.
I
didn't
didn't
we
made one a couple of years ago either.
didn't we literally mention Danny Moore in the first episode?
I was gonna say who is that guy, but yeah, we did do that. Well, did we? Because I was looking for bits to clip, and I thought there because we talked a while before we started the first episode, and I was looking for a part where we talked about something, and I was like, "Where is this part of the? Where is this in the video? When did we? Where is this in the recording?" And then I remembered that it was from before the recording.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was the bit where how you hold your teacup.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that was from before the recording.
Yeah, we talked about it before the recording.
Yeah,
Um,
you want to share that with Crash? I think it's fun.
yeah. Because we had it like about we talked about like weird habits we just like take from anime and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like or like from games or other people or stuff. And there is this thing which it's kind of cringe, and I
It
don't know
is.
if people who know me actually notice that I do that. Um, but when I was younger, when Attack on Titan came out, like 2011, I think was when Attack on Titan came out,
Uh,
the anime at least.
13, I think 13 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something along those lines. And I was, like many people, a really big fan of Levi. And if you have seen the manga or the show,
Only like the first arc.
yeah, I think you still should have seen it maybe.
Actually, I'm gonna tell you right now. The last chapter I read was the chapter where Levi appears and it's like, "I'm
Okay,
badass. I'm the guy."
okay,
It's like,
okay. And like that's the thing. Like Levi has a very specific way of holding his teacup,
yeah.
or in general things, but mostly his teacup, where he grabs it from on top of the teacup. Like he doesn't
Uh, yeah.
grab the side, but on top. And I kind of started doing that, and I still do that to this day. Like
Uh,
it became a habit that I started doing because I wanted to be cool and I wanted to be like Levi, and now it's an actual habit of mine that I
I
just
get you.
can't
See,
get
I
rid of.
I tried doing it. I tried I tried doing it and it hurt my hand after a certain point. It like my hand got tired of holding the cup like that.
I kind
Yeah.
of do it sometimes as well, just because that's how I do it. Yeah, but one thing that I got from anime is that
Mhm.
I fix my glasses like Kuro from One Piece.
Oh yeah.
I
That is
occasionally do
so
that.
fair.
Like,
That is so fair.
But like that's an actual kind of valid way to put up your
I
glasses.
mean,
yeah,
Curl do is it? Because Curl does it with like
yeah,
his
with the
palm, right?
palm.
With
Yeah, yeah.
palm, yes.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
not the best way, but I still do it
yeah. I
sometimes.
mean, you
I mean
you
that's
can
fair.
do it with your fingers, but that's not cool.
Yeah,
I think it's better than trying to do it like the cringy anime like two finger like to the
Yeah,
middle, just like glaring at someone while you do it.
yeah.
I think that's better still.
At first, I thought Crash was about to say that, but I'm glad you
Yeah.
didn't.
nah,
I mean,
I'm
I
more
wouldn't have
epic.
judged you for doing it,
Yeah,
but I actually kind of respect the curl thing, even if it's not the most practical.
Nobody
it's just
expects
the
my
coolest.
Levi drinking.
See, I just started doing throwing up peace signs like a stereotypical anime protagonist because I noticed that's what a lot were doing. I started that in high school, and it's kind of stuck with me now. So now instead of like waving goodbye or waving hi to someone, I'll just throw up a peace sign.
I do that as well, or
I
I
think
do
it's pretty.
the John Cena Navy salute.
Can you see me?
I don't wave goodbye to anyone. Like I'll do the
Yeah,
peace sign, or I'll do the John. It's just a normal salute, but I just say the John Cena.
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
I think I don't really wave goodbye. I wave goodbye to my nephew, but he's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
6 months old,
Like
so
yeah, to your friends. It's
yeah.
like I don't know.
oh yeah. That's just my default wave now. I'll just like throw up
Yeah,
the
same.
peace sign. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty like most people. It's not something you assume it's from anime when someone throws up a peace sign though.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
not
Yeah,
as
I'll
managed to
win.
get
cringy as
by
drinking
with it.
your cup of coffee, like
Yeah,
Levi.
I don't know who would do that. That would be so weird. But I guess we can get into the second question now that
Yeah,
we went off a little tangent.
Yeah.
that will happen a lot.
Uh, I think I'll save this question for later. The second question is the one I was reading. Just out of curiosity, what are some anime adaptations that you think outdid the manga?
Ooh, that's hard because I don't watch a lot of anime.
I was about
Mm,
to
Um,
say that.
yeah. So like my go-to, for example, is FLCL Free Curry, but that's
mhm.
because the anime is the original, and so the manga is
Yeah, that
still
makes
really
sense.
good. I really like the manga. A lot of people don't like the manga. I think the manga is
Mhm.
still really cool, but the anime is better. And I
Okay.
think even though I've never fully watched it, Demon Slayer,
Yeah, definitely,
I that was
definitely.
kind
the
of my
anime,
thought
yeah,
with it.
yeah,
Just because I saw the first season, decided to read the manga. I caught up with it like right around the time it finished, like the chapter it finished. I caught up right before the last chapter, which was kind of cool. Uh, but watching the anime compared to the manga is just a different experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah.
and typically for the better when it comes to the anime.
like,
I like the arts, the what I call the potato faces of the
yeah,
manga.
I
Yeah,
like
I
that
think
too.
it's fun.
It's fun, but the anime overall, I think in it, like I started reading the manga, I think like a month before the anime started. So it was before, you know, before Demon Slayer got mainstream and got really hyped.
Yeah,
And you can kind of feel like the difference. Like nobody cared about the manga.
Yeah.
And I think there's
yeah.
a really good reason for it.
I mean,
Because the anime is so much better than the manga.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. Like the manga isn't bad, but it's also not really outstanding. And like that's the thing.
I'd say
Demon Slayer
I'd say
just,
it's mediocre.
yeah, it's like it's the definition of mid in my mind, because it's like the middle
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't want to use that word because we have a guest on our podcast. It felt like
yeah, but
No,
like
it's
I
I
think
don't know.
that's the thing. A lot of people just say mid to say something is bad. I
yeah,
usually say mid because it's
they're
mid.
mid.
It's
Like
okay.
I
It's fine.
think the word mid gets completely misused nowadays, because like
Yeah.
people don't, if people say mid, they usually don't mean it's mid, they mean it's bad. And like,
Well, yeah, but some people, it's also maybe the thing of like you'd rather watch something that's like terribly bad that's entertaining because it's bad than something that's just mediocre.
yeah,
Yeah. Mediocre is an insult in of itself for
Yeah.
like
that's true. um yeah, but like
Uh,
that's the thing with like Demon Slayer. I really thought it, the manga isn't outstanding, and then like the anime
yeah.
came along and it looks visually fantastic, and that's
Mhm.
the main reason why it's popular, I think. Like of
yeah.
course it's like not bad in term of story or anything, but like the main thing why people are so attracted to it, I think, is because it looks really really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'd say
think
that's fair.
the anime, or should I say the manga, because I don't know where the anime is at this point, but the manga does get better as it goes on.
Yeah.
Especially like the later arcs, the later characters. I do think they're
Yeah,
really good. The pacing at first is pretty bad,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And I think that's way better in the anime. I think
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
like the pacing in the anime is better than in the manga, but yeah, I also think like the we still have a lot of like, um without spoiling too much, like we still have a lot of things to look forward to in the anime.
Yeah. It is
But
getting to the end bit.
yeah,
It's almost wrapping up, but
we
the
also have a
last
lot of
bit,
things to dread.
yeah, has a lot of cool moments, has a lot of weak moments, I'd say.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh, because you said you don't watch a lot of anime, just out of curiosity, I don't know if it's a question I had written down or not, but what's your favorite anime, excluding manga?
my favorite anime. I think
Yeah,
Steins Gate.
Mm.
Steins Gate.
Yeah, yeah. That's also one of the last anime that I watched.
Hmm.
Which
I've
is
heard good
tells
things
you
about it, but I
something. Yeah,
haven't seen it.
yeah. I watched the anime when it was coming out, and it
Oh,
was one of the last anime
Oh,
I
oh.
watched. But I remember.
so you really don't watch a lot.
No, I mean I've restarted watching anime recently a little bit, but it's
Mhm.
like um I will catch like something that is on Netflix, like for example Dorodoro
Yeah,
or Kami-san, and I watch like a couple of episodes just to see how it
yeah.
compares with the manga. But the last anime that I fully watched was Chainsaw Man
Oh,
Hmm.
because
That's
I
fair.
just love the manga so much.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
it's a
mood.
pretty solid choice.
yeah. It was a good
What do you think
adaptation.
of
Yeah,
the? Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what did you think of the adaptation?
it was good. I see a lot of people like complaining about the colors and everything of the anime, but I
But
don't mind it. Yes, the
yeah,
manga feels a little bit more colorful,
yeah,
even
but that's
though
like,
it's black and white.
but I think that's like the thing with like Chainsaw Man manga and anime. I think they both tried different things, which is, in my opinion, what a good adaptation should do, because both mediums have their strengths, and making a one-to-one adaptation, especially for something like Chainsaw Man, just simply doesn't work. So I think the direction they went is really, really cool because they
Yeah.
tried to do something unique from the manga without like
Yeah,
really changing a lot.
I would probably agree with that. I enjoy both. I love Chainsaw Man manga when I caught up with it. Uh, and then the anime I thought was also really solid. I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Different experiences, but both pleasant experiences, I'd say.
Yeah, I think like the I'm really excited for the movie because
The movie.
I think that could bang. Like
Yeah,
it
I
literally actually I didn't intend to make that pun, but literally it
yeah,
could bang.
The because the I think the arc is really perfect for
Yes,
that
yes,
style, not just for a movie, but also the style of the anime.
yeah, yeah,
It's a little
absolutely.
bit
yeah.
more melodramatic, not melodramatic, I don't say, but
A bit,
melancholic.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and like a bit
It fits the
darker in
movie like
tone.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's also the thing. I think this arc specifically is one of the best, or it is the best Chainsaw Man arc you can adapt as a movie because it's in
Hmm.
itself pretty well closed up. Like
Yeah,
it's like in one story you could technically watch without much context going in, and like you watch the
still
movie and
enjoy
it
it.
feels like a complete story, even though it's like a
Yeah.
middle part of the story.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Ludin, do you want to shoot off the next question? Any question of your choosing?
Yes. What are some manga that you think people should get into or check out?
Mm,
Just an underrated manga that you like think not enough people have noticed.
yeah. I think my go-to is Kasane because it's a manga that
Good.
was, I think it's translated officially in English, but it's only like digital,
Yeah.
and it's so good. It's about like this girl that is the daughter of a really famous like theater actress,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hmm.
she is really really good. She's a really really good actress, but she's also like really 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 ugly.
Oh yeah, you told me
Hmm.
about that. I wanted
Yeah,
to read that. Oh yeah.
it's so good. Like the thing is like she she can't get like people to actually like the first chapter she gets a chance to be on stage and act, and we get like the sense that she's amazing and everything, and then the audience is only like focused on how she looks.
Yeah.
And then this is all in the first chapter. She gets the ability, even though she doesn't use it till way later afterwards, but she gets the ability to swap the face her face with someone else for like an hour, and she swaps with the face with another kid in her class and does the same piece. Like she's the same, but her face is different, and
Mhm.
everyone loves the acting now. And then the actual story itself skips to her adult life, where she hasn't really used that ability ever again. But she gets pulled into the world of theater, and but she has to keep using people to
Yeah.
be able to have their face and to be able to actually do what she loves. And because of that, um she ends up not really being a good people like a good person, because she can't, if she tries to be nice and do everything by the rules, she won't get any chances to do what she loves. And it's just like this very dramatic story, because it not only is about theater, but it's also like it feels like a theater piece. Like it's very dramatic,
Yeah.
like Broadway is. But it's such an interesting character of Kasane, and it's one of my favorite manga of all time.
Yeah. I really want to check it
Sounds
out
interesting.
because like you told me about. I think you posted some images from it on Twitter, and I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, because
And
the art is also really good.
yeah, and you told me about that, and I was immediately hyped, but I completely forgot about it. I have to I have to write it down so I don't forget.
I'll ping you in a month. Like, have you read it?
Yeah. Please do because I really want to check it out.
It's one of my few 10 out of 10s, and most of my 10 out of
Yeah.
10s are like popular stuff, like One Piece, Monster.
Let's
Uh,
go. I
yeah,
haven't seen it.
Monster's really good.
With
Uh,
would you recommend the manga or the anime? If
I've
you've
watched a
seen.
little bit of the anime, but it was only like the first couple of episodes.
Mhm,
I'd say the manga mostly because it feels like every little panel is important to the story,
mhm.
where there's no padding there. Like
Yeah,
the anime, from what I watched, it's still really good. It's still a really faithful adaptation.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've heard great things about Monster. Obviously, like Johan's one of the most one of the most infamous anime antagonists or villains. I don't really know what would be the right phrasing for him since I haven't seen it. Uh, but I definitely have wanted to check it out. And the anime I've heard good things about, but I didn't really know that it had a manga.
Yeah,
So
the sorry, the mangaka
you're good.
Naoki Urasawa is amazing. Like pretty much everything that he
Mhm.
writes is really good. Pluto, which came out recently, is also from him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that adapt get an adaptation recently.
yeah, and most of his more recent. When I say more recent, like I mean like 90s upwards, or like most of his manga are all in the same kind of style.
Yeah,
But he's really good at that kind of like thriller mystery kind of manga. So everything that he wrote, like Pluto, the Monster, 20th Century Boys, Billy Bad, like everything is just, when it's not a 10 out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10.
It's
yeah,
crazy, yeah.
It's amazing.
Also really want to get into his works, but like I'm currently busy with a lot of other stuff, and
Yeah.
Do you think Monster would be like a good introduction to his work, or would you recommend something else from him first?
I think Pluto is the best to start with because it's the shorter work.
Hmm.
'Cause I think it has everything that he does write in like just 8 volumes. I think I'm
Hmm.
not sure how many episodes the anime has, but I think it fully adapts to it as well. And then the anime is
Probably
much more
24 then.
recent. Yeah, the anime is also much more recent. So, and I've watched 2 episodes of Pluto, I think, or
Hmm.
one, and it's also like the animation, everything is also really good. So definitely go
It's good
with
to hear.
Pluto first. Yeah,
Okay. Uh, Luden, did you ask a question last, or did I ask a
I
question
think
last?
I asked that question.
I think it was
Okay.
Lupin. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Then I'll shoot off another one. Um, if you could interview, since we were just talking about, we've mentioned a couple mangaka already. If you could interview any mangaka, which one would you like to, or just have a chance to talk to them if you don't want to
Ooh.
maybe do an interview?
Oh, there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Maybe QI Yoshida from Dorohedoro.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
That's a good one.
She's their manga are just absolutely insane, and I love to talk about that because those are the ones I like to talk to. Like I'd love to talk with Oda from One Piece. I think that'll be
yeah.
interesting. But the ones where just the manga is absolutely insane, like Iniwa Sano from Goodnight Punpun as well. That would be
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Um,
I feel like Fujimoto would be
Mm-hmm.
interesting, just
Fujimoto,
how
yes,
he is
I
as a
was about to
person.
say that. I think Fujimoto is one of those where you just would go crazy talking to him because like I
yes.
don't I, I don't know how that man's mind works. It's
I think I changed my answer to Fujimoto Kiyoshi. I think both are similar.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so
But like
I talk with
All
both.
right.
with Fujimoto it's so
I think all those are solid picks either way though.
Yeah.
yeah. Like with Fujimoto it's so interesting because like I'm currently on my journey to like read all of his works. And like even if we read his early short stories from when he was like 17, like those this shit is already so fucked up, and I'm like, what what's going on in this man's head? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love the chicken one.
yeah.
I don't
The
know when.
chicken one was really that was wild. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that twist. It was it's
I think there's only
I've
like 2 works
I've
from
only
Fujimoto
read
that I
Chainsaw
love.
Man.
Yeah. I've read. I own the two one shot collections, but I haven't read the second one.
yeah. I've I also have the two one shot collections, and yeah, I also own Look Back and Goodbye Ari.
I don't have Goodbye Eri yet, but I have read it.
Yeah, Goodbye Ari is so good, and I
Ah,
think
yeah.
I think you should once you get the chance and get it physically, I think you should read it again, because like physically it's such a different experience, because I also read Goodbye Eri
Mhm.
around the time it came out, I think, digitally, and then I read it physically. Same with Look Back, and I was like blown away, because like Fujimoto writes for physical release, and you can really see that. Like that's yeah.
Yeah. My problem was that when Goodberry came out in English at the time where pretty much every Chainsaw Man, like every Fujimoto book was getting like out of stock immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took me a while
Yeah.
to get Chainsaw Man stuff and stuff
Yes.
like that.
I mean, same. Like, I'm glad I started collecting Chainsaw Man in German really early.
Mhm.
Like, I have, like, I think from volume 3 onwards, I have, like, first edition German
Yeah.
release. Because, like, I got them immediately and pre ordered them when they came out. But, like, Chainsaw Man is also really difficult to get sometimes. I remember when they did like the collector box thing for part 1, and I pre-ordered that one, and because it was so like so desired, my pre-order got like cancelled, and they said like, yeah, they don't have stock anymore. And
And
yeah, but I got it nowadays.
that's yeah. Oh, that's good. They started like publishing it in Portuguese recently, and they're doing it really fast because I think they started a couple of months ago, and they're like volume 6, and the covers are, and especially the spines are way better than the English version. But I'm not
Mhm.
gonna stop collecting the English version now.
Yeah. Also, I also think the German ones are also pretty good. I don't know if I like them more than the English ones, but yeah, like from the spines, I mean. Um
Yeah,
but like the
I've only read them in English, and I only collect in English, so
yeah. But
that's,
like
I have no comparisons.
it's funny because I also have the first 3 volumes of Fire Punch here, and Fire Punch has similar style spines to Chainsaw Man, but
yeah.
Chainsaw Man has completely different ones. I think it's because the publisher is different. Because the English the publisher for Fire Punch is Crunchyroll, and Chainsaw Man has a different one. I don't know exactly which one, but yeah, that's maybe why the spines look so different.
On a super tangent, I
Go
find
ahead.
I find the publishers in like Germany from an outsider like so interesting because you
Mhm.
got Crunchyroll and you got like Tokyo Pop,
Yes,
like the publisher who died in the early like tens.
yeah,
It's like no, they're doing things in German.
yeah, and like
Okay,
it's really wild because like Crunchyroll is only a recent thing, because it
Mhm.
used to be Kaze, and Kaze
Yeah.
was a really, 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 really big publisher in Germany. They also did like most of the German anime adaptations and stuff like that, and they're a kind of shitty company.
Mm.
And Crunchyroll bought them, I think, and that's why now everything that used to be Kaze is now Crunchyroll, which
Mm.
really sucks if you're a collector, because
Yeah, I know.
I have the first Fire Punch volume with the Kaze logo, and from volume 2 onwards I have the Crunchyroll logo. It's
I hate when that happens.
yeah. I'm glad they did it with Jujutsu Kaisen a bit differently, because there you have like they have a plastic wraparound with the Crunchyroll logo, and if you make that uh throw that away, you have the Kaze logo underneath, which is really cool because the Jujutsu Kaisen volumes still look normal. But yeah, yeah. But German publishers are really weird. It's yeah. And like as you said, Tokyo Pop is actually one of the biggest publishers here.
I find that
Hmm.
so interesting
It's interesting.
because yeah, you learn about Tokyo Pop's history with the American market, and like they were big and then they died, and now they have a space in Germany somehow,
Yeah.
and now in English they do like Disney stuff, and I find it interesting.
Yeah, like again, they're the I think one of the like biggest 3 publishers here. Like
Mhm.
most of the if I look at my shelf, most of the stuff I have here is from Tokyo Pop.
Yeah.
And like
I have
they
3 Tokyo Pop volumes.
and they do a lot of good stuff. Like for example, the Shaman King release
Mm.
they did is really cool because they are like not, I think they're not really 2 in 1 volumes, but like more like 1.5, which is
Yeah, like
really weird, but it's really good to read because if you have like those omnibus or like those 2 in 1 volumes, I think they're often like too big and you also like ruin the spine when you read them
mhm.
a lot
I
of the time.
have the because Shaman the 3-in-1s are in English are from Kodansha, and I have the Lavina 3-in-1s also from Kodansha. I love Lavina, but those volumes,
Yeah, and like
they're
with
rough.
and like with the Tokyo Pop ones, like the Shaman King, they like you don't ruin the spines as much when you read them because
Mhm.
like they're not as thick. And also they're like a bit taller than your usual manga volumes. It's really weird, but it's a really cool format. I really
Yeah.
like that. It's yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much input here. I don't know much about who makes manga. I have 5 volumes in front of me, and 4 out of 5 of them are from Viz. The other one's Kodansha.
I mean, most of my even though I have like a collection from 4 different countries, I
Mhm.
technically very technically, because um most of my stuff is from Viz anyways. Like
Yeah,
more than half my collection is Viz stuff.
I mean they do like produce a. Well, I don't know if produce is the right word, but they distribute a
Published.
lot of the biggest manga. Yeah,
Yeah,
publish.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that most of them would be from there.
yeah.
Ludin, you ready to shoot off another question? Or?
Wait a second. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I think that one is good. What manga do you think are overrated?
Oh, you set me up.
Yeah, we want
This
people to hate you.
this will be a this will be a great clip too. I'm gonna make sure to clip this, post it everywhere.
So my overrated manga. Hmm, I think my go-to is JoJo's Part 5.
Mm.
Because
I've
Part
only
1,
seen the anime, but that I get that.
yeah, because Part 1 I don't like. I hate Part 1, but I feel like most people
Mhm.
also don't care
That's
about
the
Part 1.
common kind of
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So Part 2 I like, Part 3 I like, but then Part 4 is I've only read the first 5 parts, by the way, so I can comment
Mhm.
about 6 onwards, but like 4
Yeah,
is really good. It's my favorite. Then
Four is
and
really
then
good.
you move into Part 4 like because I like the other Part 2 and Part 3, so but I like them. So I didn't went into Part 4 with that high of expectations,
yeah,
but it was really good, especially in
yeah,
like the second half.
Yeah,
So
the
I got
second
into
half.
Part 5 expecting to be at least somewhat like that, especially because a lot of people really like Part 5.
yeah.
I'm not
Me
going to say it
included.
sucked because I feel like saying it sucked is an
Harsh, maybe.
exaggeration. Yeah, but I feel like the fights in Part 5, man, they're rough.
They're weird. They're
Yeah,
really weird.
They
Yeah.
really they don't make sense a lot of times, and it's like oh, it's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's supposed to be bizarre, but I feel like a lot of times they like the conclusions that the characters come up with and like the techniques that they use and everything. The way
yeah,
that they reach those conclusions and the way that they work don't make sense.
And
At
like
least not to
yeah.
me.
I
I
get that.
I feel like I from my perspective, I'm someone who likes part 5 the most from the
Mhm.
parts I've watched. I've watched up to part 6. Um and like I like part 5 the most, but I agree in that regard. And like a lot of it
Mhm.
a lot of the fights boil down to we do whatever we want and let Jono fix it. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's yeah, that's like I don't know how many times someone has like destroyed their limbs completely and then are like fine the next episode because like Jono healed them off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the
No,
thing. But Doradora does the same thing though. They die like all the time. Then they're just they have healing powers, so they're fine. I think it was I don't remember who it was the dog. that had healing powers? Someone had healing powers.
I don't remember. I've only seen the anime, which I enjoyed, and they got season 2 announced, so I'm looking forward to that. But I don't remember much from it.
Yeah, but I remember like the second half of and Dragon Ball. I've just finished reading Dragon Ball, like a month or two ago. Buhork, everyone dies. Like everyone dies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like that. Not even an exaggeration. Literally,
No, like
everyone
everyone.
died.
Yeah.
like
It is.
Boo blows up the whole Earth. Literally,
I think the only
everyone
person
died.
who doesn't die is Hercules,
Yeah,
and not even Goku because Goku is dead.
yeah,
Throughout
Yeah,
that
he
arc.
starts off dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mr. Satan,
So
the G.
it's
I think he's to
absolutely
this day the only character that like from the established cast that hasn't died from Earth,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah. The only person in the whole world.
Yeah, like
doesn't
on
die.
on
Like,
Earth,
the Earth.
like on Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only person on Earth hasn't died. I'd
Yeah,
feel
that's.
excluded. I'd feel excluded.
I never really realized that, but yeah, thinking about it.
I mean, you have like people like Krillin who died like 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they died 3 times
Is
in
it the
like.
second time you get the free ice cream?
Yeah, I think he died once in like the classic Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
And
he's the first like main character to die.
yeah,
Yeah.
he got folded by a tambourine.
Yeah.
Was
If
that
you
their
get
name?
killed by a dude
Yes,
named
it was.
Tambourine, you're like really, yeah.
Oh man, but it was like I remember when you get that part at first, it's like such a big deal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my
Yeah.
god, Krillin
It
died, and
was an
then
impactful death at the time.
And
yeah,
like once you get to Freezer, like you're like, oh okay, yeah, Krillin died, but in the back of your mind, you're like, don't they have like Dragon Balls? Like,
yeah.
can't they just?
I mean, that's the thing. They were like fighting to keep the Dragon Balls. So I was like, will we be able to revive them? Will we not?
Yeah,
But
like
Yeah.
that's the thing, and that's why it's so high stakes in that moment.
yeah.
But like, I think Krillin's second death really didn't
Yeah.
affect me emotionally much. Like,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
first
For me-
after a while, you just don't get, you just can't care.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my main issue with Dragon Ball as a whole. Like, I don't care much about the emotional stakes of the series because because Dragon Balls, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and yeah. I
mean,
think Dragon Ball is a good series, but like emotionally, I'm really not invested.
That's fair.
I
I
get it.
started with Dragon Ball Z, the anime,
Shame
of
on you.
course.
Mhm.
I was a kid, dog. It was the
Shame
only
on
thing
you.
on TV.
Oh man, no, yeah, Dragon Ball as a kid was like the
Yeah.
best thing ever.
Yeah, like
I thought it was really fun. I liked it. I saw Naruto on TV, and I was like, no. Uh,
Yeah, I got into Dragon Ball because we got the original Dragon Ball first,
yeah, same.
Yeah.
like in the 90s. So,
Yeah,
and I
Well,
really loved the early parts. Like they're
same.
really cool.
I also really like the
Well,
early.
I was also born in the 2000s. I'm a bit younger than both of you, so it
Yeah.
was like that finished airing already. Some people older than me in the US got into it at that time, but I didn't because
It's
I
li-
wasn't alive,
it's like
unfortunately.
it's like
Happens.
funny because I grew up during this weird time where they aired both shows. So
Mhm.
like I've watched like one of the reruns from original Dragon Ball first, and I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know where I was at. I think like around the Red Ribbon arc where like
Mhm.
Mhm.
Goku goes into the Red Ribbon army and destroys shit. And like then next time I come back to it, they're like at Dragon Ball Z at Namek, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like
Yeah.
what? This is the same series, and like
Oh.
it was during like the early stages of Namek where Goku isn't present, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where's Goku? And I'm like,
Who's
what is
this kid?
happening here?
Who is this child on the screen?
Yes, like I know Krillin, I know him,
Yeah.
but where's the rest?
the in the I think it was like 2010, 2011. They aired Dragon Ball in a weird way. I think it was mostly for people who already watched the anime
Mhm.
in the
Mhm.
90s that wanted to rewatch it. They aired Dragon Ball, like one episode of Dragon Ball, followed by one episode of Dragon Ball Z, followed by one episode of Dragon Ball GT every day.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you just watch like one episode of all of them every day. I'd do that. It was fun.
It's an interesting format.
Yeah.
Dragon
It
Ball-
was 100% for people who already had watched it and just wanted to
Yeah.
like tune in.
Dragon Ball
Yeah, no,
GT had a really weird release in Germany. Like they had like, I think Dragon Ball GT has a total of like 27 episodes or something in Germany, because like they cut so much shit. Like they I think they cut like at least half of the first arc. Then they immediately
Okay.
jumped into
Not missing much.
but like then they immediately jumped into Baby. After that, like in Baby, they
A bit
also
of a
like
jump.
adapted only half of it, like maybe 5 episodes or something, or 6. And after that, they immediately jumped in the final arc and like also had like a lot of it missing. And like I think they actually cut the fight after the Gogeta fusion. And like after that was done, after they defused basically, and then immediately cut to the end. Like
That is so weird.
it's really weird. Like you watch it, they defuse. Next episode, Omega Shenron is dead, and I'm like, what? Like, I watched it when it first came out, and it was like, what? What is happening?
That is so.
That's odd.
In Portuguese, they ask they wanted to cut stuff, but or to censor stuff, I should say. But they are very lazy in Portugal. So what at least the voice actors say is that they ask the voice actors and the translators to censor it, like in the translation. So what they did was just our version is just like Dragon Ball abridged.
Oh, okay.
Like official Dragon Ball abridged. It just the characters just like throwing jokes all the time. You hear, I think, it's just like such a meme, like that translation. Like Cell will they will have Cell like saying, "Look at the baldy" when Krillin appears, or things like that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Or I don't remember what creature appears, but appears one creature and Goku says, "Oh, it's Miss Portugal '97." It's just a bunch of stupid stuff like that they'll had.
It's yeah.
I'd check that out if I spoke Portuguese. Unfortunately, I don't.
There is a video by one of the guys of Dragon Ball Abridged on the Portuguese dub that I love sharing because it has like subtitled versions of some clips. It's really stupid.
I mean, like, and that's also a thing with like German adaptations. We had like a lot of the, for some reason, a lot of the 4Kids versions for our anime in the early 2000s. But like, it's weird because they had like as a base they used the 4Kids version and also translated the lines from there, which is why from the content basically we have the 4Kids versions, but they decensored some stuff, which is really weird because like if you have like the classic from the 4Kids One Piece where Sanji isn't smoking a cigarette but has like the lollipop.
The lollipop, yeah.
We have him smoking a cigarette, but the dialogue is still like the translated versions from the 4Kids. It's really weird.
That's an interesting choice. For me, 4Kids was the default, so
and like,
they're my goats. I love them.
The wildest thing is I think the Digimon adaptations, because they have like again everything 4Kids, but like some things like the soundtrack, for example, is the original Japanese soundtrack, but the songs were translated into German, which slaps. It's really cool, but
I think that's the same thing in Portuguese.
It's really weird. It's kind of wild, but yeah, we move.
Oh, I just want to just throw one other line from the Portuguese dub of Dragon Ball, because we didn't, even though the show is called Dragon Balls, we called the Dragon Balls Crystal Balls.
Oh,
so the first time Master Roshi appears, which in our language is called the Genius Turtle. Um, he like someone
Checks out, I
asked,
guess.
yeah. I mean,
Not
so
really,
like
but
he like someone asks him like what has he had on his necklace, and he says, "Oh, this is a crystal ball." To which Goku replies with, "What? Dragons?"
Ah, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
checks out. Makes sense. No issues there for me.
no problem.
It's wild.
I love it. I love dubs.
Yeah.
I do
No,
too. Like we have
I love the
also
four kids dub. Uh, like unironically, it's still my go-to for Yu-Gi-Oh. If I ever go back and watch anything
same.
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Like
despite
Yu-Gi-Oh is
its
same.
absurdity, I still love the dub.
It's so ridiculous that it's just good. It's I mean, look at Kaiba for example. He is an abridged character in the 4 Kids
Yeah.
version, and it's fantastic. I love everything about it.
Yeah,
Especially GT. GT's my favorite with the dub because they just go insane. There's an Arnold Schwarzenegger ripoff
Yeah,
in there,
the elephant,
which I love. Yeah.
the Chris
I
the
missed that.
elephant in GX.
Yeah, it's like Crystal
Chris the
Elephant
mammoth,
Mammoth or something like
Chris the
that.
mammoth, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, and that's really fun. I love Chaz and his slogan. I don't know if you've seen the GT dub, but it's insane. Just check out some clips of it if you want to have an idea.
I need to.
Uh, just anytime I think of that, though, I also think of how Beyblades parted the Red Sea in like the Bible. Moses used the Beyblade to
But
part
I think that's part
Red
of the
Sea.
actual story of Beyblade.
Yeah, no, that's part of the actual
That's
Beyblade
canon.
thing.
That
I just also like anytime I think of that, I also end up thinking of that because they're both like just childhood memories, and it's just like, yeah, I was watching some interesting shows.
Uh,
Uh,
it's it's so like
but
Beyblade lore is insane. Like I
yeah,
I grew up with the old Beyblade show, like the
yeah, I've only
first
watched
one.
the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. Like I
mhm,
watched the first from like the old one was the first one, and I think I watched the first season of the second series. Where
yeah,
yeah, but like I really couldn't get into it much because I think when it aired, I was already too old for the Beyblade anime, like in big quotes, but like yeah.
yeah. No, for me, Beyblade, I watched just the Metal series, and then I watched some of the newer one because again, I'm younger than you, so it was coming out when I was like a teen, early teen, mid teen years, and that one wasn't bad. Like I don't, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I could go back and still enjoy it, but I enjoyed it at the time.
The OG
Nate
Beyblade
Wants to
was
Battle
really
did the
shit.
English opening though, which was interesting.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah. But Crash, how many questions do you think you can do left still?
no idea because we keep going on tangents, which I
Yeah.
love. By the way, I'm not
Okay.
complaining, but
I
I have
mean,
no idea.
that's what we're here for. We're like
Exactly.
Yeah.
we're here
We
for
go we
tangents, yeah.
Yeah, we go on a lot of tangents just in our normal. I think last episode 2, would have been like 30 minutes shorter if it wasn't for
I
tangents.
mean, we went on like a
Uh
5 or 10 minutes tangent about Nana.
yeah.
And after that, we said,
We
we have a lot of things to say about Nana. We should make an episode about that.
yeah. We also went on a tangent on JJK, uh, and
I don't
Demon
want to go
Slayer
on
2.
tangents on JJK.
Mm. Yeah, I think if we make an episode where we talk about JJK, we should also get you for it
Oh no.
because I think your input is actually valuable because you're not one
Yeah.
who hypes it up, but you completely trash the shit out of it.
I do,
I
but the
mean,
thing is, I don't want to talk
but then
about
we'd
it.
all just agree with each other for the most part.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. I think we still have like a positive but critical stance towards JJK. But you're like,
Mhm.
nah, that's
Oh
not
no,
it.
I have
I
like
like,
it's similar to my stance on Demon Slayer. It's mostly mediocre.
yeah, I like trashing JJK. I don't
Same.
genuinely hate it as much as I like trashing it. But the thing is, I know I don't have like genuine like critiques about JJK.
Yeah.
I just don't care about it. So that's why I trash it, because I
Yeah.
cannot have like a genuine conversation about it.
No, if we have a JJK episode, I think we need to have like a hardcore JJK fan to try and defend it from us.
Yeah, just grab
Yeah.
like Broken Roaring or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronan, come on the podcast. We'd love to have you. But I guess we can get into another question then. I think I'll save this question for last. And
Which one
so
is?
Luden, you pick the next question. It's what's your most underrated video, which I think is a good question for last to like
Yeah.
wrap things up.
Okay.
So we'll save that one for later. Luden, do you want to pick out another question for now then?
Let me see. Oh, I think that one's a good one because we invited you as a content creator, so we should also ask questions about your content. Are
Yeah.
there
No.
any videos you regret making, or that you have changed opinions on?
Mm,
Or like a video you would redo,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah. I think a lot of like early stuff I'd redo just based
Mhm.
on like the quality of the video themselves.
Yeah.
But I guess one
Remake a gaming video.
yeah. I would, no, I think the one where what was the name of it? About Mary Sue's. I don't remember the name of it. I would write a good Mary Sue or something like that.
I've watched that.
Maybe I think I've gotten gaslighted into hating it because I've seen a lot of people just like don't
Yeah.
like like not liking that video. But looking back at it, it's like maybe um
You might change the wording or something.
yeah,
Maybe.
I think the difference is not necessarily like the content of the video itself is
Yeah.
wrong, and more so like the examples I give are not Mary
Mhm.
Sue's, because I
Yeah.
think they aren't like, because of the definition of Mary Sue isn't exactly the one I taught when I wrote
Yeah.
it. And maybe what I should have done is kind of like saying that it's like how to make overpowered characters not feel like Mary Sue's. Maybe
Yeah.
that would make more sense to like the video.
Mhm.
Another one that I would redo, but then Trenton kind of did his whole channel is making that video but better, is my every single Shonen Jump manga,
Mm.
Yeah.
because what I had like really grand idea of it,
Yeah.
and then I didn't do that. Like my video is generally like pretty lazy because I got overwhelmed, but I still wanted to do it, so I did it.
Yeah. There's a
Um,
lot.
yeah, I still like named every single manga, and I think like that's kind of like a cool idea. But then
Yeah.
like you go and check like Trenton's channel and what he's doing, which is he's going every year and doing like a dedicated video, going through every manga published that year, doing a little bit of history and like being like really thorough and doing like some really good some actual research and making some really good videos with it. And it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, if I could, that's what I do, but I didn't, and he did it. So I'm now
Yeah.
it's just, that's his stuff, man.
So you
That's
just
fair.
leave it to the person who can do it better than you,
Exactly.
which is fair. Which is fair.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I don't think that's understandable.
Yeah.
Uh, Maybe go off topic from anime and manga for a second. What are some of your favorite non-Japanese media things?
That was the
Media.
next question I also wanted to ask.
And, like overall media.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in general.
Okay.
Books, TV, movies, whatever.
Well, my favorite game, in case you didn't
Mhm.
know, is Crash.
Crash Bandicoot?
Crash Bandicoot. Yeah.
Or
Which one though?
Yeah.
I think I
No,
never asked. Which one?
my favorite Crash Bandicoot is Crash Bandicoot 3.
Oh,
Oh,
Mhm.
base. So base.
are
yeah.
are all the Crash Bandicoot games racing games? Because I played a
No.
racing one, and I
There's
don't know if
only
that's
one
all the
racing
games.
game.
No,
Okay, that's the
there's
only
actually
one I
more than
played.
one.
Oh, yeah, there are more. Yeah, but
Okay,
like
Yeah.
I
I
think
played one. I played one on the PS2, so whichever
Yeah.
one that one
that
is,
was
the
Tag
only
Mhm.
Crash
Team
I've played.
Racing. I think.
Yeah, Crash
Mhm.
Racing is the one in the PS1.
Yeah.
Nitro Kart, I think, is the one the
Oh yeah,
PS2.
Nitro Kart was one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember.
Or I don't remember if Nitro Kart was. No, I think there's a Nitro Kart on PS2, and then there's a Nitro Kart on PSP.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, those.
I mean, I enjoyed that game, so
Yeah,
I
the carts.
I
The
think you have
carts
good
are really
taste.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But we're talking about real Crash games here.
yeah.
Is that not
The
a real Crash game?
No, no.
I
Am I a
mean, it's a
fraud?
spin. It like the card games are just like say if it's like if I say I like Mario and you say oh I like Mario Kart. I think
Yeah,
it's still a valid opinion. Mario Kart is a really great game, but it's
I've
not the
never
same thing.
played
yeah.
anything except Mario Kart 2. So I played the other Mario games at like friends' houses, but I've
Yeah,
never owned anyone except Mario
Damn.
Kart. So
yeah. I love Mario Kart. I have the DS and Mario Kart
mhm.
7.
I
So
had it
they're
on the
really
Wii, I think.
yeah Mario Kart Wii.
Mario Kart
I
Wii was good. Was really good.
yeah I played it. I played it, but I didn't
I was
own it.
bad at it.
My favorite is still Double Dash, the GameCube one.
Mhm.
Haven't played that one.
Yeah, but
Uh,
if we talk about Crash, because I'm also an expert on that, what do you think about the remakes from
oh man,
Crash games?
I think the remakes, genuinely, I kind of love them. I don't want to say more than the originals because I have like such nostalgia for the original game, especially like the second and the third one. The first one not so much because I didn't have it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I
but I
didn't
think
have the.
the remakes are perfect.
Yeah,
Like
same.
Mm.
Like
I've played the remakes like 3 times.
yeah, I also think like the remakes are like I think this is exactly what a remake should be. Like
Yeah,
it's this and also the Spyro games are
well, the
same.
Spyro games are so cool as well.
Like
Yeah,
I've only
both of
played
those remakes.
Skylanders.
Uh, that's
how dare you?
disgusting. You disgust me. But like the original Spyro trilogy remakes and the Crash trilogy remakes are like so good.
They are. I mean, and in Crash Bandicoot 4
Yeah,
is also really absolutely hell to get 100%.
same.
Like
Yeah,
genuine hell.
this is really one of the I haven't finished it yet because like I got sidetracked and I never touched it again. But I completed like the first 3 or 4 worlds 100%, and
You're
this
insane.
this was this was the worst thing I've ever done. Like
Yeah.
Jesus,
I have like 80% of the total game done.
yeah.
I probably have zero now because I changed my PS4 to PS5.
Mm.
Um, but you can't do it
It's
100%. It's fucking it's hard.
I really went
This is
nuts
a
with
I could swear in this podcast, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah.
I just I'm sorry.
I don't because I have family around me, but that's
Mm,
all.
yeah,
You're free.
thank you.
But
Um,
like that's the thing. Like I because for me playing Crash games like the first three was like you don't really play it unless you 100% it. And
yeah,
with that mindset, I went into Crash 4 as well. And then oh boy, I got so burned out. That's the reason why I never finished the game because I just couldn't do it anymore. It was just such a pain. I want
I
to
mean,
get back to it and finish it eventually, but damn,
no,
damn.
I get you because I feel the same. I never even
So
gotten all like the colored gems.
Mm,
I spent like an entire month to get the one. The I think it's the blue one where you can't get hit any of the boxes.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Me and my girlfriend spent like a month trying to do that one, and we managed to do it. And we almost cried.
Yeah, I remember I remember back when Crash 4 came out and like or was it when the remakes came out? I don't remember. And people said like that's the Dark Souls of jump and runs. And
Mhm.
with like the OG Crash games, I don't think that's necessarily true because they are hard, but they're like not like the most terrible thing in the world. But with
I mean,
Crash
Dark
4,
Souls isn't the
I
most
think
terrible thing in the world.
but like
I
with
disagree.
with with Crash 4, I think this is really genuine hell. If you
Yeah,
want to torture someone, say to them, play Crash 4 100%. They will cry after like a week.
But just to defend Crash Bandicoot 4, if you want to play just the story mode, like the game mode, you just want to finish the game like genuine first level to the last. It's an amazing game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a really good game.
It's in general, even 100%ing it is like good, but it's like hard. It's really hard. But like it's a really amazing game. Crash 4 is really good.
So if you were to recommend one Crash game for someone to get into the Crash series, what would you recommend? Especially if they've already played the racing games.
I'd say the Insane trilogy. It's the best because it gets the first three games, which are the best ones, and it just perfectly puts them on like modern platforms.
Yep.
It's perfect.
One thing I want to ask you, and I think you will probably hate me for it if I ask it. What do you think of the Titans games?
You want to know something? I skipped the PS3 era. I didn't have a PS3.
Okay.
So the only game that I played was Crash of the Titans, the Nintendo DS version. What I'll say is that it's not as horrible as I thought it was going to be, but it's still pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's not a Crash game. It's not a Crash game.
That's also my opinion. Like I played the what was it on the PS2? I think. Yeah. I think one was on the PS2, if I remember correctly.
Maybe it was. I didn't had it.
It was one of the Crash games, and like I played that expecting it to be a Crash game, but what I got was not a Crash game. And I think it's alright as a game, but as a Crash game, it's horrible. It's
It's just not the same.
Yeah, it's just not the same. Like even the redesign of Crash and everything, it's like, oh god.
Yeah, because I was an edgy teen. I really liked the redesign of Crash back then. I hated the Haku Haku design.
Oh yeah.
It was really bad. But the actual like Crash design, I wasn't. I did enjoy it. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you look cool. Yeah, I'm from the 90s.
Yeah, I get that sentiment. I get that. But like, yeah. But the first three Crash games are so good. Like I still have, if I can go on a little tangent about like Crash 3 specifically, because this was one of the games.
I mean, we have Crash on here. You're expected to talk about Crash.
Like I have this very distinct memory of my childhood when we like as a family like sat in front of our PS1 and we played as a family. Like we switched through basically. Everyone got his turns at playing, and we switched through the game and played Crash 3. And like that's such a like I connect Crash 3 specifically just with like good childhood memories because like my parents don't play games, like not at all. But they played Crash 3 with us, which was really cool. Yeah. And like that's a thing I really always remember if I go back to that game. And also it's just a really damn good game. Like I think Crash 3 took the best things from Crash 2, which was already really good, and like stepped it up a level. And
I think the only game I was able to get my family to play was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game on the PS2.
Nice. The one my dad plays, well, it isn't much anymore, but he used to play video games. Very specific ones. Like every time there was a Need for Speed or a Call of Duty, he'd play them, and I would love like the Call of Duty, like the first ones. But the one that I played with my dad a lot was Guitar Hero, because my grandma gave us I think it was Guitar Hero 3, and my dad tried it out. He played it. When the next week he came back home with a Guitar Hero 5 with another guitar. And he just wanted to play like Guitar Hero with me. It was really cool. But I remember like sometimes I'd be playing other games, like I'd be playing Persona 5 or sorry, Persona 3, not 5. And he just walked in like, "We're gonna play Guitar Hero now."
Like, okay. And you're like, "No, I want to shoot myself in the head and defeat demons."
Yeah. Because Persona, like Persona 3, you can't save the game at any point.
Yeah.
You have to like finish the thing. And it's like, no, we're gonna play Guitar Hero now. Like, okay,
I'm
fine.
so thankful. I haven't played Persona 4, so I don't know how it is. And I also haven't played the Persona 3 remake, so I don't know how that is.
Yeah,
But
I
I'm
don't know
so
your
glad
meter.
Persona 5 has the save rooms at least. So that you can
Yeah,
like in dungeons at least save so you don't like get completely screwed over by the game. But it
yeah.
also
I need to finish that
you
game.
you really need to. Um but it also kind of locks you into like story sections for like 2 hours, and you can't skip them. And if you or like you can technically skip them, but if you do, you don't get what the fuck is going on.
You
Like,
miss out on a lot if you skip anything in that game.
yeah,
yeah.
I remember, um, I was like, playing Persona with a friend of mine. Shout out to Simon if you're listening until here. And we used to do it like we used to make gaming sessions where he comes over to me and sets up his console and stuff, and we played like basically like a LAN party, but with just
Hmm.
us, and we played like different, like we played the same game but like independently from another. And like
Yeah.
I remember I had a session where I played like for 2 hours or stuff, something like that, and he was like locked in a cutscene. And after we like finished the session and go get something to eat, I was like, how was your progress? And he's like, I didn't have any. I just listened to conversations. Like he was just locked in this endless conversation for like 2 hours. Yeah.
That reminds me, just to trigger you a little bit. When I bought my PS5, no, sorry, when I bought my PS4, the first game I bought was Kingdom Hearts 3.
Hmm.
I tuned in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I only had played 1 and 2,
Hmm.
and like 5 minutes of the
Chain
Game
of
Boy one,
memories.
Change the Memories.
Hmm. Bad
Um,
decision.
and I just watched a bunch of cutscenes that I didn't get anything of what was happening for like an hour, and then I turned off the PlayStation. And I
Yeah.
haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet.
Like that's the thing. That's the comment. I get that, but like that's the problem. If you play Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you're missing like 6 games.
I know.
Like you have
That's the thing. I bought because now I have 1.5. I have the
the
PS4
collections. Yeah.
collections. I have
Hmm.
them. Um, Man, these are just so many games.
Yeah. That's
I hated playing Chains of Memories.
understandable.
Genuinely, I'm sorry, just it was rough.
Yeah,
Uh,
understandable. I get it. I totally get it.
and then I started playing Birth by Sleep, and I had like this very fun interaction with my girlfriend because she watched a bit of me playing the game. She watched me a bit of playing the first one, the second one, a bit of Chains of Memories, and then tuned. She walked in when I was playing Birth of by Sleep, but she's like, "Oh, Roxas," and I was like, "No, it's not Roxas." She's like, "The fuck you mean?" Like,
That's
no,
not Roxas, that's Ventus.
yeah, there's another character. No, that's not another character. That's Roxas.
I
Like,
mean, there
no.
are lore reasons. I won't spoil it here because, like, for people who maybe want to play Kingdom Hearts at one point, but like, there are reasons why they look alike.
Yeah, I know that, but it's just funny. Like, oh,
Yeah,
Roxas, like, no.
it's like, and like, there are a lot of people who say stuff like, "Yeah, they did that because, because Nomura was lazy and he just did it for shits and giggles and stuff."
Yeah,
But like if you go back to Kingdom Hearts 2, you can see in the secret ending Ventus already appears. So it was already planned at that point that like Ventus is gonna be a thing. And
hmm,
like that was the game where Roxas was first appearing as well. So at that point they already had that storyline planned out. And it was very obvious in that scene that it was not meant to be Roxas. But like
yeah,
um yeah.
and it's just I don't know. Like Kingdom Hearts lore, I feel like I don't want to say like it's too complicated because I'm sure if you played every single game, it
Yeah.
makes sense.
Like that's the thing. I said that on Twitter the other day. Like Kingdom Hearts in itself, of course, it's a bit like weird, and a lot of things are like very like yeah, weird is I think the best word for it because like
Hmm.
stuff doesn't make sense right at the get go, and some things are just like Kingdom Hearts bullshit. But if you play the games in order, I think you generally can't really get confused. And the parts where you get
Yeah.
confused are parts where you're supposed to get confused. Like
Yeah.
a lot of things where you get confused while playing are things they just want to keep and want you to set the puzzle pieces together later. Like if you
Hmm.
play the games up until Kingdom Hearts 3, I think you just can't get lost much, and the open plot points we still have that I'm confused about, we probably will get answers to in the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Kingdom Hearts except that Mickey Mouse fights.
Mickey Mouse is a
I'm pretty
badass in that
sure.
series.
Mickey Mouse barely appears in the games that I've played.
I mean, he does
Hmm.
appear a
He
bit in
appears. He appears, but
Kingdom Hearts 2, but
I
There's
hated
also a key
I hated the
sword.
first
I'm
time that
pretty sure.
that Mickey appears, because it's like you've been waiting for him to appear for like 2 games or whatever, and it just pops up. It's such an epic scene, and it's like, oh, hey, Sora.
yeah, yeah,
He's like, oh yeah, it's Mickey.
it's Mickey, it's Mickey fucking Mouse, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and
I mean, I don't know how else he would act.
Mickey Mouse
That's
fucking anime.
kind of just Mickey.
and
Yeah,
like
it's me.
because you said mentioned Birth by Sleep, the fun part about Birth by Sleep is that you have to play it 3 times essentially, which is
Yeah, which I haven't.
that's the thing. Like it's on one hand cool because you get bits of the story with each character you play, but you play the same worlds 3 times, which can get annoying. And they are different with each character slightly, and the story is a bit different, but still, the
But
essential gameplay loop is the same with all
they
three.
love doing that, because they do that with Chains of Memories. You have to play it 2 times. Dream Drop Distance, you have to play it 2 times, if I'm not
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
And then Birth by Sleep, you have to play it 3 times.
But with I think Dream Drop Distance is a bit special because there the worlds are
And
I
it kind
think
of changes.
entirely different. Like
I played a bit, but I don't remember much.
I think I think all of the worlds are like com- almost completely different. It's been a while since I played Dream Drop, so
Yeah.
but like with Birth by Sleep, it's especially frustrating because you have to play with every character once, and you have to make sure that you make 3 separate save files because if you do one save file and play them one after another, it doesn't count and you don't unlock the end of the game.
Oh, okay. That is
Hmm.
That's
weird. I didn't
insane.
know that.
It's really stupid. You have to
Okay,
play the game with each character once and save it on different save files, and otherwise you don't unlock uh,
the final ending.
final ending. And that's also the thing. You have to save that one on another separate save file again, so otherwise you don't unlock the secret ending.
Okay.
It's stupid.
Seems like a lot. I don't think I'll ever get into the Kingdom Hearts franchise if I'm being
That's
honest.
yeah,
Me
that's
too.
my problem. I don't have the time to get in. I'd love to get into Kingdom Hearts
Mm.
again, because I played the first one when it came out. It was really cool, and I love the second game.
It's so good. It's
But
so
it
good.
just I just don't have the time to get invested on everything I need to play the third game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's
That
the thing, like I don't know if this is controversial, but it's for me to say. But like a lot of the spin-offs, who are technically not spin-offs because they're part of the main story, but
Yeah.
they're not as good. Like especially like I I have people friends who played the sequels who just hated them. Jin, if you're hearing this, he dropped um at Dream Drop Distance and just watched the cutscenes because they thought the gameplay was so infuriating for them that they just dropped it entirely. And I have another friend who played Birth by Sleep and just dropped it there and was like, "Yeah, I hate this."
Yeah.
But like, it's worth to experience the story just for the mainline games because Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 are all so fucking good. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I First off, I'm not a big fan of the Disney motif, which the main reason I don't really care for it. I don't really care for seeing all the Disney characters in it.
Damn, I
I don't know
hate you.
how much they are in it.
They are
They're
a lot.
in it a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are
Uh,
you are going to Disney
Yeah.
worlds.
Yeah.
So
That's
if
that's
you're
the
not
main
there
thing.
for the Disney movies, you're just
Yeah.
But that's
And
I feel like that's the thing that gets kind of forgotten when talking about like the games and like the story and everything. Because and also because the actual like the plot lines for each world individually, at least in the games that I've played, are very basic. It's like there's this deep, intricate lore around King Mars, and then you jump into worlds like Elp, Aladdin, meet Jasmine.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
happy now. Bye.
Yeah. Like a lot of the times, like if you go really deep into it and analyze it, a lot of the worlds like play into the themes of the series itself. So
Mhm.
like a lot of the worlds like connect with the themes of the game specifically. But on surface level, you just replay most of the Disney movie story, and
Yeah.
that's it. So, but like there are original stories, and I think that's when Kingdom Hearts is at its best. Like if they do a
yeah,
Disney world and then do a original story with those characters in this world, I think that's always the best approach they have. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If you don't like Disney movies, you probably won't
it's
like
not
Kingdom
even that
Hearts.
I dislike Disney movies. I just feel like I don't care to see them as a game per se.
Yeah.
Uh, especially like a lot of like I know Pirates of the Caribbean are in there, and I'm just like
That was a good. That
I
was a good world. That one
yeah,
in Tron, I love.
yeah.
I
I
like.
love the movies. I don't care for seeing them or replaying through their stories in the game, and I love the movies. Just not a fan of that idea.
You like
But
the
I think
movies?
in
Because I
that
love the movie.
I love the movies. The
I
first like
really
three,
okay. Because I like.
especially the first one or the second one's my favorite. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen them.
damn shame on
Uh,
That's
you.
the thing.
You
I
should
think the
watch them.
the first two movies are absolutely like really really good,
yeah,
and
the
then
first two are definitely my favorites. The third one I still really enjoy though.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
think
went to
After
see.
that, I don't really care.
the
I think it was
third
the
one
fourth
is
one. I
my
haven't seen the
favorite.
last one. I saw one of them in the cinema, and it was like one of when
Mhm,
it was like the 3D craze. So
Yeah,
that movie was
mhm.
on 3D,
yeah.
and it was horrible to
I
watch.
the fourth movie is really fucking
That was,
bad.
I
The
think that
fourth
was the
is
one.
really. The fifth is okay, but it's not even
Mhm.
close to the other three, to the
Yeah.
main three.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But like what I wanted to say, that's the thing. I think if you like the movies, the Disney movies, and don't have like a genuine dislike towards them, I think you should at least try giving it a chance in Kingdom Hearts, because it's not all just retelling. Because there is
Yeah,
still
no,
a
I
lot
get that,
going
but the
on.
other thing is, like, I also am not huge on the gameplay. It's not that I will not
You haven't
enjoy
tried
playing it
it,
while I'm playing it. I've seen it though.
but
I've
it's
seen you
different.
play
Like
through it. I've seen other people play through it.
I don't
It's just
think.
not my style. I've seen similar game styles, and I usually what happens is I'll like play through the first like couple hours of the story, and then I'll just like kind of forget about it.
Damn.
Uh, but maybe one day for an episode, I'll try and play through one of the games
Hmm.
for the sake of the podcast.
You should.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know what I'd make you play though. Maybe Sekiro. That'd be fun.
If my PC can handle that.
Uh, I don't know. We'll see. Uh, but yeah, that was our Kingdom Hearts tangent. Looting, do you have another question you want to ask Crash? There's only two left that we haven't asked him on here, but you can also ask whatever you want. Something off the
I'm
top of your head.
I'm like going through the. Oh yeah, what are some of your favorite manga from your childhood?
Well, the thing is, I didn't have manga in my childhood. Are you kidding
Or
me?
then anime, then like.
Yeah. Uh, just on that topic, the first time I saw a manga like physically on a store was when I was in college.
Mm,
Mhm.
okay.
We didn't had like we didn't had it was in French, which I didn't speak French.
Yeah, that
um,
definitely helps.
yeah. So the my childhood anime, there was a lot. I think like Dragon Ball was the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Digimon.
we
Yeah.
definitely talked about that earlier.
Yeah. So
Digimon I loved as a kid.
Yeah, the first
I
season was
had the
amazing.
first season on DVD,
Yeah.
and I would like come home from school and rewatch it every day for like 2 months straight. I'd like pause it and like to redraw the characters and stuff. That
Nice.
was fun.
I used to play
I,
them in the backyard as Digimons and things like that. I
I did
really
that
loved the
too.
first season. That first season is so good, and it was like
Yeah.
because we had Pokemon, and I liked Pokemon,
yeah,
but and everyone like was the big thing. But in Digimon, in terms of like the anime,
Yeah.
it had a
yeah.
story and the characters and everything. I remember the first time I saw the Tai, I think it was TJ,
Mhm.
no, Tai, the main character, I think it's
I
Tai.
yeah,
Yeah.
He gets sent back to the human world
Yeah.
with Agumon,
Yeah.
and I remember like getting into that cliffhanger and just having my brain explode and just like
yeah.
it was, I
It
don't know, it
was
was different.
crazy.
It was such a really good
I feel
anime.
like I could go back and rewatch Digimon and still enjoy it.
I
I did that like in my 20s.
I I religiously rewatch one season of Digimon every year. I
Hmm.
Because like Digimon is my childhood series, and like
Yeah.
every year I pick one from the first 4 seasons. Yeah, 4 seasons. Like the first Adventures, then like
Yeah,
Tamers and Frontiers,
Mm.
and like every year I pick one of those and rewatch them in German classic, and I think they
mhm.
aged kind of well. Like, of course, if I would watch them for the first time today, I probably wouldn't like them as much, but I think
Yeah,
they still hold up.
Yeah, I remember watching the original season like again in my early 20s and still enjoying it quite a lot.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, what I kind of miss is not never having checked out the season 3 because I watched the first 2 seasons and
mhm.
the third season didn't air right away in Portugal. So when it aired, I was already like high school.
Mm.
So I didn't watch it. Like I think I caught like a couple of episodes only midway through.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, this is not like the good
This
old
is kid
thing.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, and then like, but then looking back, people really say like really good things about the third season. I think it's kind
Tamers is
of the
so good.
best. Well, yeah, I think Tamers is the one that people overall tend to like the most,
Mm.
like a
Yeah,
I don't.
non-biased
yeah.
I
opinion.
don't.
I think like
I don't.
the first two are the ones, especially the
Mhm.
first, are the ones that the people have most nostalgia for, understandably
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
But I think that a lot of common sense, and I agree with the opinion, is that the third is the best one.
yeah.
Mhm.
So
Is
I
Tamer?
kind of miss
I
that
don't
happening.
remember which one each one is by name. Is Tamer's the one with Kinemon, the like
Yeah,
Um,
yellow QB?
yeah. With
Okay.
Renamon. It's
Yeah,
like the
Renamon.
yeah.
Which one's Kinemon? I
what
know
came
that's
on with
a.
the insect in season 2?
Okay.
Kinemon is
I
the
don't know why I
character
think
got
in
those
One
so. I
Piece.
confused.
think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kinemon is the dude
I'm not good with names. All
with
right.
the club.
Yeah, no, same.
I meant the yellow creature.
Yeah,
I don't
Renamon.
know why I
You
thought
you
it
mean
was
you
Kinemon.
mean the
Renamon.
Rule
Yeah.
34
Yeah,
best
that one.
friend
Yeah.
Digimon.
I mean,
There's
there's also that
a
one like
Geomon.
fiend one that's really cool from there. I
How
don't
is
remember
it?
its name.
There's a Geomon and Lady Devilmon or whatever.
Yeah,
How is the goddamn yellow deer the,
I think it's a
the
cutie.
hot character?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't I also don't get it. Why we have like Digimon who are literally like hot anime babes, and
Yeah,
like
Hmm.
Renamon is the one people thirst over. Really don't get it, but okay.
yeah,
I think it's just the furries.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
in
that's it.
general, I think like Renamon is
Yeah.
like yeah, really well beloved.
Like can't blame furries for being attracted to Digimon as a show.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's true. That's true.
But like that's I
It's
still
very like
I I have that memory of like season 3 because like season 3
mhm.
was around my time, so, where I grew
Mhm.
up, and
Yeah.
like I remember when the third season premiered in Germany,
Hmm.
and I had a friend who was also really into Digimon, and
Yeah.
we I remember we went home from school, and like we were like we have to hurry because like the finale was airing at the time, and we didn't want to
Yeah.
miss it, and like we watched like the final 2 or 3 episodes aired like as a marathon type of thingy. And I know we like straight up skipped our lunch and stuff, and immediately sat in front of the TV and like watched it and stuff, and it was really cool. I still remember that, and yeah.
Yeah, no, for me, the only one I really like, I grew up with, because the other ones I did check out later, like as a teenager, but as a kid, the only one I really watched was the one with Tai and Agumon, the
Yeah,
original
original.
series.
The
Yeah,
original adventures.
and I love that one.
It's
That
really
one-
good.
one just, yeah. Anjuman was so cool when like they first reveal him.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
was like the
that
coolest thing
was
ever to me as a
it
kid.
was. I
Yeah,
mean,
and that's the thing. Like the anime was supposed to end there originally.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so like dramatic and stuff, and why they treat it like such a big deal, because
Yeah.
like it was supposed to end at that point.
But I
And
still enjoyed the latter seasons too.
Yeah.
I remember like the first time Agumon turns into that like dinosaur
School Greymon.
form.
oh,
Yeah, Skull Greymon. That was
Skullgrimon,
so
this was
cool
so
too.
cool. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was just a really fun show. It was a really like cool show. And like I joke I was like I was still watching it around the time like Mega Evolution was coming out in Pokemon, and I was like I was telling all my friends, Digimon copied Pokemon. Digimon had Mega first.
Yeah.
Because with their evolutions they always turn back. And
Yeah.
I just have a lot of fond memories of Digimon.
Yeah, it's such a good show.
Yeah.
Just to name two more childhood shows. I'm gonna name one and I'm gonna name the other one right away because I think
Mhm.
Luden's gonna talk about it if I don't just jump right. The first one is Shaman King. and, and then the other one is kind of like another anime that I haven't seen any other person mention, but it's by the same guy who does Detective Conan, and it's called Yaiba.
Oh yeah,
that
I
was
remember
I think
that.
I've heard the name, but that's it.
Yeah, because like if you search Yaiba now, all you get is like Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you made a manga technically, and then an anime that was like Yaiba was like a kid who had a sword,
Mhm.
and then he grabbed kind of like balls that you'd put on the sword and give him like powers like fire and lightning.
Yeah, I
and
remember that one. Like
I love that one.
you just unlocked the hidden memory in my head.
Yeah.
I think not many people remember that show. I don't know if it aired in many other countries.
Yeah.
I think I've only heard the name.
Yeah.
Although speaking of shows that like no one's heard of, that like or at least not a lot of people have heard of that are like to a similar vibe, a show that came out a little bit later, which was just like a complete rip off of Beyblade, probably is Beatamon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They
wasn't.
shoot the
Yeah.
little
They shoot their
to me, it was
balls.
just like the exact same vibe as a kid, and like it came on like the free channel because we didn't have cable at the time. It came on like the free network channels that you'd have to get up early to watch. And I was just like, this feels like Beyblade
Yeah,
but
to
cheaper,
me
but
it
I still
felt
like
like
it.
to me it felt like Beyblade but worse.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it though. I
I'll
played the
say
game
though,
of it. They had a mobile game.
the Be the Man is the one where I had this on my podcast and I forgot already. The Be the Man is the one where you throw the ball and it opens.
Yeah.
It has like a robot. The first time I saw
I
like
think
a
that's
toy of
Are
that.
you thinking of
Oh, that's
Bakugan?
Bakugan.
Maybe
I
that's
think.
Bakugan.
Yeah.
I had this conversation on my other
they
podcast.
shoot little balls out of like a plastic shooter thing.
Yeah. Bakugan is
yeah.
the one where you roll the
And like
things.
Yeah.
they
Okay.
also like talk to them like in Beyblade. Like the main guy has this blue little ball shooter that talks to him, and I was just like, this is Pegasus.
Okay. No, I don't.
Uh,
I vaguely remember that, and I definitely remember
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah.
But I was that's something that came out when I was in high school.
Also, I
yeah,
like
but if
that.
you want to go on a tangent on Bakugan, I would love to.
Now I was just gonna say that the first time I saw like a Bakugan toy because one of my cousins had one.
I had a bunch of.
Like my brain exploded because it's just like a ball and then rolled into a card and boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
I recently bought one.
me as like a 20-year-old, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and it works on every magnetic surface. as well.
Magnet, yeah.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, no, I recently bought one again just for the nostalgia of it because I
Mhm.
like walked into
They
a
still
CVS
sell
and I was
them?
like, they are like redoing it again. Like
Oh,
a new anime came out a couple years
Mhm.
ago. And I was like, huh, they're selling this in Walgreens. It's been so long since I've seen this in the store. I'm just gonna buy it. It was like $5.
Yeah,
Uh, which might be a little expensive for a tiny plastic ball. But
but it can
it
open.
was worth it for the nostalgia.
Yeah,
yeah. I
Uh,
get that.
I played the Wii game of Bakugan too.
that was a
They had a
good
game on
game.
the Wii. It was really fun. At least for me as a kid. I don't know if it'd still be fun today. Uh, I watched the show over and over. You can find it all on YouTube now.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
That's
if you ever want to go back and watch it,
I
free on
watched it
YouTube.
once, I think.
I
Like,
Yeah,
did
I
not.
I watched it like 4 or 5 times.
damn,
Uh, it's not that great though.
it
Like
really
I
isn't.
I
It really isn't.
I tried going back to it, and no, this one is like it
E-
did not age well.
Even for me, as a stupid like early teenager when it came out, I still
Yeah,
watched it and I was like, yeah, this is shit. But I still enjoyed collecting the
yeah,
Bakugan themselves.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I could never actually afford to like buy the little like balls as a kid,
Hmm.
because like I saw all my friends had them, and I was like, I don't have any. I'm gonna try and like, I tried trading some Pokemon cards to get some. No one wanted to trade with me, and the closest Walmart, which was the only store that was nearby that would sell them, was like 30 minutes away. So we'd only go there like twice a week, and I could never convince my parents to buy me Bakugan.
Damn,
Yeah,
So
the
yeah,
thing,
sad.
that's part of the reason why I wanted to buy one recently.
yeah, makes sense. The,
But
the
yeah, that's
thing,
my story with Bakugan. You brought it up, so I just
yeah.
felt like going on that tangent before Luden rants about Shaman King.
I was about to say, but Crash wanted to say something, so
No, yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
was gonna
Crash.
say like when I was a kid, like with Pokemon, not really with Pokemon, like with Yu-Gi-Oh and Beyblade and everything.
yeah.
We had like lots of it, but that's because we like Portugal has a really
Mhm.
bad problem with stores that sell bootleg stuff.
Mm.
Oh,
So we'd
well,
had like all the fake Beyblades and all the fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
mhm,
My Yu-Gi-Oh cards were really interesting because every single card, and I mean every single card, including the spell and trap cards,
mhm.
had like 100,000 attack and defense power. Just really interesting.
See,
Play games with that
that's the
card.
same for Pokemon for me, because
Yeah,
right next to where I live is like a pulga or like a flea market, which is just like a place where vendors can sell whatever they want.
yeah,
And they
yeah,
would always be selling fake Pokemon there. It was always like 10,000 HP, 4,000
yeah.
attack. It was always crazy. And I was like, as a kid, I didn't know they were fake. And I was like, wow, where'd you guys like get these Pokemon that have so much attack? I go to the store and they're all like 50.
Yeah.
And I only realized later in life that these were fakes.
Yeah, but I also have a
Yeah.
bunch of fake cards actually.
Mm. Most of my cards were fake. I think I had a couple like accidental real cards because I would trade with someone or something.
Mhm.
Most of them were fake.
Ah,
Speaking of card trading stories, I do have a semi embarrassing. I say semi embarrassing. It's a very embarrassing card trading story. Uh, where I was gifted a watch by someone I wasn't a huge fan of at the time, a family member that I was somewhat annoyed with, and they gifted me like a $200 watch. Uh, and I was like, I don't want this watch because they're the person who gave it to me. So my friend had a Pokemon card and heard me say that I don't like the watch. And it was like a full art card, like of I one of the random legendaries. And they were like, "Well, I'll give you this Pokemon card, and in like a couple years, it'll be worth hundreds of dollars. Just give me this watch." And I was like, I don't know if this is a good idea, but I ended up doing the trade, and I lost a $200 watch that day for a card that don't have anymore.
good job.
That,
Yeah,
and at the time you don't know,
Yeah,
right?
that's
yeah.
true.
You
I mean,
never
I
know.
was like 14, so I should have known.
Yeah. I also
But
Mm.
traded my dual disc, which I still hate myself for. It,
I hate you for that.
yeah,
A
like
dual disc, I always wanted one.
Yeah, same.
I had
Same.
one, and like I traded it for like
Let's be
two.
honest. Like the kids who had the dual disc card things were the coolest,
Yeah,
but that thing was absolutely horrible to play with.
it was horrible. Yeah, and like
See,
let's
I
say
didn't. no one around me had one either. So I was like,
I
I'm gonna
knew
get
like
one.
two or
I'm gonna
three
be the cool
people.
person.
Yeah.
I never got one. I always really wanted one, but no one around me had one either. So I can't review it.
Like I had one and I traded it for like 2 decks of cards, which was in retrospect really worth it because like it was a ton of cards and there were quite a lot of
Hmm.
good ones and I still own them. But I
Yeah,
still would have liked to have the dual disc. I think nowadays I would rather have the dual disc than the cards, but I
Yeah.
don't
yeah,
know.
same.
That happened with me. It wasn't a trade technically, but I lent my Sonic Rush game to a friend, and he lent me Lego Batman.
Hmm.
Which at the time
Hmm.
I really didn't want it, but was like he was like, "Ah, I want to play Sonic Rush, and I'll trade you this one, and I'll
Hmm.
just trade for a bit." And then I never met him again, so I had to buy Sonic Rush the other day.
I also have
See,
that story with a game. I it
I have
was
the opposite of that story. I
Well,
was the
then
one
give
who
me
got the
back my
good game.
Sonic Rush. Oh, I
I
have the opposite
I
as well
got
because I have Pokemon Yellow.
yeah, I got Pokemon Black from trading Lego Avengers game.
Like, yeah, that you got the good game
that you got
for
the
sure.
good trade.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I also have that with a friend. I lent him. Oh, I think it was Spyro 3, like the Spyro Year
Hmm.
of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And I lent it to.
Skylanders are better.
Fuck you,
I'm not gonna comment on that.
fuck you.
I've never played Spyro, so
And like
I'm just going off my own personal experience.
I lent him Spyro Year of the Dragon, and I've never got
Hmm.
to see that game again. It was
Hmm.
yeah. I
Those
still
moments
think
stuck. I
we
have a
have
bunch of like stuff. They're not mine, so I cannot complain too much.
Yeah.
I still think I rebought it or something because I remember we have that game nowadays
Mhm.
again,
Hmm.
but like I think my brother has it right now. But I remember that that specific version of the game I never got back, and yeah, I
Yeah, no, my friend wanted Pokemon Black back after the trade, and I was like, no, we traded. This is mine now. Because it was supposed to be like an official trade, and they
Yeah.
played the game after like a week, and they were like, "Hey, can I get like my game back now?" And I was like, "No," and they were like,
they were like,
they were
damn.
upset with me for a while after that.
Uh,
But
Yeah.
we got over it. We were
Yeah.
kids. But that was my first Pokemon game too. So
remember, yet
yeah,
now imagine they want to buy that game nowadays again, and
Oh,
it costs like over $100.
yeah, it's expensive now.
Yeah,
You go to like GameStop and it'll be like $120 for Pokemon Pearl, and then you get it and it
yeah,
doesn't work.
yeah.
I'm not speaking from experience.
yeah. No.
No,
Definitely not.
Yeah, I know.
my Pokemon Platinum works that I paid $100 for.
Jesus Christ, I'll never pay that much. The only
I
Pokemon
mean, I
game I own, well, technically I own Pokemon Yellow, like I said, because a friend of mine lent it to me
yeah,
and then moved away. Um, but the only one that I bought was Moon and the Switch one, which I forgot
Oh,
bought Scarlet
yeah.
or Violet. But I bought
oh,
one of those.
oh.
Um,
My
oh,
condolences.
well, it's not as bad. Like people, it's not as bad.
But it's
I
still
still say it.
pretty bad.
I mean,
Sun
it's
and
just
Moon are great.
some no, yeah, Moon is pretty good.
I think
Uh,
It was also pretty easy to beat though, which
yeah, they're easy games, but
yeah,
I think that mechanically they're fun for Pokemon games
yeah.
because the extra games they add, I think, can be pretty fun if you want to try and do them. And also the story's not bad. Story's pretty good.
Mhm.
um but uh to go back to something Crash said um
But are you
about
gonna go to Shaman King?
Shaman
Go.
King.
Okay. Can I
I mean I'm
very
glad
briefly
I'm
yeah, can I
glad someone
briefly go over Pokemon real quick a little bit more?
okay. Okay.
We're not going to talk about Shaman.
We're not
So
gonna talk about Shaman King.
I'm just gonna no, we will, don't worry. I will just very briefly defend Pokemon Sword and Shield.
No,
For me
no,
personally, I find
no,
them to be have
no.
some of the most endearing Pokemon characters. like some of the characters are just like so endearing. I felt bad when I beat the champion of the game because he's like rooting you on throughout the whole game. I think story wise, character wise, it's up there for me. And for Pokemon Sword and Shield, Ultra Sun and Moon, I mean Ultra Sun and Moon and Sun and Moon, I think if they just released Ultra Sun as the original games, it would have been better because I think those games are like they add more stuff to it, and I think the story's actually better too because they add some stuff on. But those games, also story wise, are pretty up there for Pokemon. Not Pokemon Black and White, but I think they're like top 3 for me in terms of story for Pokemon.
Your Pokemon license is now reowned.
You can't do that. I have almost a year's worth of gameplay into the Pokemon games overall. Multiple years, actually, I think.
Your Pokemon license gets stripped away now. I burned it.
You don't
you are
have
not
the
allowed
right.
to talk about Pokemon anymore.
You don't have the right.
I do.
I think
I
probably have
as
more game
someone who
time than
has
you.
a good opinion on Pokemon games, I have now the right to just strip away your Pokemon license.
Look, you're not allowed to because I've seen every show up to Sun and Moon. I've played games.
You played games.
I've played the one where you play as the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I
don't
know that
remember
one
which
as
that
well.
is.
Mystery Dungeon.
Mystery Dungeon or Pokepark?
Yeah, Mystery Dungeon.
Mystery Dungeon
Love
was
that.
fun.
Mystery Dungeon. Love that one. I played Pokemon Rangers, which was terrible game.
It's just fine.
I didn't like it as a kid. Could have just been me as a kid though, with the games I like.
Yeah.
I own almost all the DS games and Switch games except the latest ones, which are Scarlet and Violet.
And they are terrible, so you don't have to buy them.
I'm gonna get them eventually. And when I say I own most of the games, I mean like both versions. I have Sword and Shield, both.
You're
I have
part
Ultra
of the
Sun
problem.
and Ultra Moon.
You're part of the
I have
problem why
Sun
this
and
company
Moon.
fails. You're part of the problem. You're part of the reason why Pokemon is the biggest franchise in the world and still sucks.
To be fair, I probably won't get Scarlet and Violet. I'll probably just get Scarlet.
But why do you have Sword and Shield?
Because I like the games.
I hate you.
They're fun.
I hate you.
I'm replaying through Sword right now.
I hate you.
Like the Pokemon designs just have some really solid designs in there.
Can I get a new co-host, please? Crash, can you do this podcast with me?
Yeah, as long as you don't ask me my opinions on Pokemon.
I want to leave.
Crash, what are your opinions on
Mom, pick me up, please.
No, I just wasn't. I never was into Pokemon. I mean, when I was a kid, the thing that I wanted the most in my entire life was a Game Boy with Pokemon, but I never got it. So I only actually got into the games when I found out about the wonders of emulators. So I don't know. I was never really mega into Pokemon. So I don't have like strong opinions.
You see that we have strong opinions.
I see.
Yeah.
You want to know what my favorite Pokemon related thing is? Pokemon 2000, the movie.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
I went to see that movie in the cinema. I was blown away.
It's good.
No,
it's a really good movie.
I still have it on VHS, although our VHS player doesn't work anymore. But it's a great movie.
Yeah.
I made my younger sister watch it with me a couple times, even though she doesn't like Pokemon. Just because it's a good movie.
Just for the love.
I'm like, no, I tell her sometimes whenever I make her watch a movie with me that I enjoy from my childhood. I'm like, this is a good movie. It will improve your life. You have to watch it with me. So yeah, she enjoys it decently. She's
that reminds me of
she makes me watch her movies too, though.
Reminds me of me trying to show like my Alien to my girlfriend. Because the first time I tried to show Alien to my girlfriend, she fell asleep during the opening scene.
Yeah.
So I had to show her again on a later date.
I've never seen the Alien movies, I don't think.
It's my favorite movie of all time. It's so good. It's so
I
good.
think I've
Really,
seen one
really.
of the Predator movies, and that's all.
The first Predator is really, really cool, and includes the classic line "Get to the chopper,"
Get to the
which
chopper.
already makes it 10 out
Isn't
of
I thought that was from Yu-Gi-Oh! GT. GX, I mean, it's not GT.
No, no.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's what they are parodying.
I know. I'm joking,
Yeah,
Luden.
I know.
Okay, I'm making sure. Uh,
I
uh,
after your Pokemon opinions, I think you're stupid, but you're not that stupid.
I think I have the right opinions. I think you're just a hater. You don't have enough childlike whimsy left in your life.
I just think the biggest multimedia company of this planet should do better.
I don't.
Okay, but
That's
like,
my only opinion.
it's not like the games have ever been like great games.
Yeah, but they've
Oh,
been
damn.
good. They've been good. They've never been like
Yeah,
really good from their
Sword and
mechanics
Shield
and
were
stuff,
good.
but
They've never been better than Ace Attorney, but you know.
I've never played Ace Attorney, so I
I'm,
can't
I'm,
comment.
I'm sorry
But
you
I
haven't
think
experienced peak fiction.
I'm sorry. But I do think Sword and Shield are at the very bare minimum good.
I just don't comment on that.
What's your critique with them? What critique? I'm sorry, Crash. This is your episode, but I have to get into this with Luna really quick.
No,
What is your critique for
I
them?
won't talk about those games more. Like oh I agree that the characters are good, but that's like, and like some Pokemon are cool. Like I like, for example, Tinkaton is really cool. Um,
Mhm.
but that's like about it of good things. Like you have like okay, the graphics is a big talking point. And I don't think they
I don't
should
mind
like
them.
that's again the thing. I don't think they have to look like a triple A game level, but still, if you compare it to anything else on this console, that's like from Breath of the Wild to Xenoblade or anything, it just looks
Mhm,
ass. If you compare it, and especially
mhm,
because Pokemon has the resources, because again, it's the biggest company in this world. So,
mhm,
like, the biggest multimedia company in this world. So they should do better. Like, it's okay if this was like a small indie company. Then I wouldn't mind the graphics. But it's the gaming company that has literally the biggest resources available. And
Have you ever seen? Sorry, have you ever played the other games from Game Freak, or have you seen them? Because I never
yeah,
played them.
they're ass.
Yes,
They're complete ass. Game
it's
Freak is not a
amazing.
good studio. That's the
It's
thing.
amazing. It's
Well, I love them anyway.
And like I don't know. It's like my critique with like the Pokemon games
Mhm,
from especially from Sun and Moon onwards is like not that they are necessarily extremely bad, except for Scarlet and Violet. Those games are terrible. Um, but like
I
not
haven't
that the
played them,
games are
so.
really bad, but instead that they should do better. That's the thing.
Mhm,
Like especially since they're on the Switch with like Legends and also
mhm,
Sword and Shield, like they they should use a higher standard because they can. They have the resources, and I just want them to do better because obviously they can. They can do it better, and they have the resources, but they just refuse to do so because the games will sell anyway, because every Pokemon game
mhm,
that comes out will sell better than the last, and they don't have to put the effort in. And my
mhm.
critique is not that they're like extremely terrible, but like that they should be better because they can
So
do
then why
better
are you mad
if they
at me
want.
for liking them?
Because they're still ass compared to the older games.
No, they're not.
They
You just
are.
have more nostalgia for the older games.
No,
Yes,
like that's the thing. Like look at like Sword and Shield and how that holds up in like
it
10 years,
holds up pretty well.
and in it, I don't know. I refuse to engage in this conversation anymore. I'm too
All right,
angry for
Crash,
it.
I'm sorry.
it's
Uh,
fine. Fine. I don't have that much time over there,
Yeah.
though.
I,
yeah,
can we
yeah, I'm sorry this went on a little long. That's
can,
on mostly me, but
can,
yeah, that's on me. I'm sorry.
can we really quickly just go into Shaman King?
Go. He's been waiting. He's been waiting so long.
It's burning
He
in my
has.
mind ever since you first said it. Like I like that you just immediately skipped over it just to go
I,
to another topic because you knew I wanted to rant about it. Um, but like I just want to know what are your thoughts on the 2001 anime, because I think that's probably what you talked about when you mentioned it.
yeah, that's the one I watched. Uh, it was I the first thing I should say, I don't know if I watched. Rather, I know I didn't watch everything.
Yeah.
Like the but I remember really loving it. The
Yeah.
aesthetic of the anime was really cool. The characters, and I don't know, it was different from everything else that was airing at a time.
Mm-hmm. Like
Um,
yeah.
like
Sorry.
like I don't know. I feel like most of the other anime that were either like anime for little children, like Beyblade and Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, which I'm not saying that they were bad because I love them, but it is different than something like like a Dragon Ball or a Naruto or a One Piece. But the only one of those besides Dragon Ball that aired at the time was Shaman King. And I don't know, just even though I absolutely loved Dragon Ball more, Shaman King was different. It
Mm-hmm.
felt a little bit more complex, felt a little bit more different. It had, you know, I don't even know how to explain it, but just
Yeah,
it was different from everything else that
yeah,
I
I
was
get
watching.
that, and I think that's what my appeal for the series was when I first discovered it, because like the old anime has a really cool aesthetic. Like, and
Yeah,
I just recently, like half a year ago or something, I went back and watched like 10 or so episodes from the old anime, and it's really cool. It has like this early 2000, late 90s aesthetic, and like it's just, yeah, it's just different. It's just really cool, and
yeah.
I wished this anime would have adapted the entire series properly, because the reboot exists, and I wish the reboot never existed.
I haven't watched it, but yeah,
Yeah, you haven't missed anything. Just don't watch it. I I don't I don't understand why you do a reboot of a show, and then like of a show that hasn't had a proper ending, and people complain about it, want a proper adaptation, and then you just go on and like adapt a 300 chapter manga in, I think, 60 episodes. Like,
yeah.
if you start doing the math, this doesn't add up at all, and yeah, the
But
result
did they
was really
adapt
bad.
everything in the new anime?
Hmm?
What did it cut from the new anime?
Like the new anime adapted the entire story, but
Okay.
just cut bits and pieces everywhere. Like they cut
Mm,
out entire scenes and parts and dialogue and stuff. And
okay.
they also cut the fights really short. And the fights were just like basically most of the time just slideshows, or um just like not like you wouldn't see the fights connect. Like, for example, if someone swung a sword, you didn't see how the sword connects with the enemy, but instead you see a shot of Yo, for example, swinging his sword, and then it cuts to the other person reacting to that sword slash, but you don't see the slash itself.
Uh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
it
sucks.
it was really bad, and I hate everything about it.
I mean, it sucks because it was Shaman King was never gotten I think the popularity that it deserved.
Mm-hmm.
And I at the time when the new anime came out, I was like, okay, this
Yeah,
is gonna be it because
yeah,
the original ending of Shaman King, I don't think this is a hot take at all. Major sucks.
yeah. The
Like
original, like the original, yes.
the original, like the
Yeah,
original
the
ending.
first one, yes. That sucked
Yes.
balls. Yeah,
Yeah. And so like this could adapt the actual ending and just the full story, and it could be cool
yeah,
because
but
Shama,
then
I've read the other ending.
it's good.
It's still not the best,
I
but
I like it. I like it.
yeah, I like it. That's the thing. I like it. It's not. amazing, but I like it.
Like it's
Um,
not the best ending I've ever read, but I think it's a very good conclusion.
yeah. And then I don't know. It kind of sucks. I like I didn't watch the anime, but I did notice that the people talked about it for like maybe the first couple of weeks, and then radio silence.
Yeah, because it sucked.
Um,
Like I
yeah,
just wish it had a proper adaptation. And that's the when I can like bust out the fun facts here. Takei, the mangaka of Shaman King,
yeah.
actually had an offer from Mappa, from Studio Mappa, in back in 2017 or something, back when Mappa wasn't like as big as they are now.
Yeah.
Um, and he had the offer, and they said we want to adapt your story, and he said, yeah, only if you can get back the original voice cast, which I also don't really like, by the way. Like that was his request. Please get back the original voice cast, otherwise I won't do it. And Mappa said something along those lines. Either they couldn't do it, or they were like, we don't really like the voice cast because it sucked. We want to recast it. And then Takei just refused the offer. So we could have gotten a Mappa adaptation from Shaman King, which would have been.
And
I wouldn't say it would be a JJK because like Mappa doesn't always do like this level of adaptation, but we could have gotten at least a good adaptation. Um, and
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I hate it
Well,
so much.
to wrap up the Shaman Queen question and kind of the podcast, we'll ask you one final question.
Yeah.
What video is your most underrated, and what video do you think more of your viewers or people listening to this podcast should go check out?
I think I'm not sure if it's my most underrated, but it definitely isn't one of my most watched, and it should, in my opinion, because of the time it took. Is the ultimate guide to Jump magazines.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
I can recommend it. I watched that and I can recommend it.
It was an absolutely insane ride that took me like a couple of months research, where I go with I I think I counted, it was just a bit over 100 different magazines
Yeah.
from the Jump line over the 50 years of their history. And a lot of them I just didn't find much of it.
Mhm.
But I still think it was a fun journey into the insane world of how many like magazines are in Japan. Just there, if there's over 100 or close to 100, because a couple of them were like the American Shonen Jump and the Swedish Shonen Jump, things like that. But there's close to 100 just Jump titles. Imagine, and I want to do like an whole series on the other stuff, but like imagine how many manga magazines just are in Japan,
Yeah.
because there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands. Um, and it's a fun journey. So I really love doing that video. I think it's still
Mhm.
one of my most interesting.
It's really good.
Yeah,
I can
thank you.
vouch for that.
I mean, Luden gives it high praise. Crash, I trust that it's a great video. I'll check it out after this podcast. And everyone else who's listening, go check that video out.
Yes.
I still don't know if we're able to put links in our description yet because YouTube, I don't know when they implemented this, but when we first started the podcast, they didn't allow us to put links into our description because like they had to make sure we were trustworthy enough to like that it wasn't a malicious link.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know if that's still implemented. I think it was a 2-month wait before we can add links. So if we can't add links, we'll comment it in the comments below that video alongside your channel, and
Yes.
everyone go check him out.
Please check out
Uh,
Crash.
yeah,
Yes. And if
Luden
you're
Crash, you want to give any closing comments?
Yeah, I want to say, if you're here from my channel, sub to these guys.
Hello. We we're still new to this. In case you
Yeah, if you
haven't
could not
noticed.
tell.
This is real. I mean, the podcast that I have with like Doofy and Pokesel, which we are like three YouTubers who've been doing this for years. It's rough. So, you know,
Yeah.
I think you guys are doing a great job. It was
Thank
really
you.
Yeah,
fun.
and check out their podcast too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll get you back again at some point, because like I really would love to have a talk
Yes.
with you
So
again
we can
here.
talk about Shaman King.
Yeah, we can make a Shaman King episode. We make Silver read Shaman King,
Yeah.
and then we talk about Shaman King.
We could do that. Or me and Luden could read that manga you recommended
Yeah,
earlier.
that's true.
Kasane, yes.
And we
Yes.
could talk about that.
I noted it. Please ping me and annoy me about it in a month or so if I haven't read it.
I just want to note that I kind of have ADHD, so I probably will forget. But if I don't,
same. That's why I wanted you to notify me, because I have the same exact problem.
well, we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Otherwise, we have this podcast.
Hopefully we'll work things out.
Where people can hold us accountable for it.
Someone who watched this episode in a month from now, comment a couple times. Hey, Luden, read Kasane. Is that how you say it?
Kasane,
Okay,
yeah.
Kasane.
I don't actually know if that's how you say it,
But
because
like,
I never seen anyone actually say it out loud.
That's how I would say it.
Yeah.
See, I just pronounced it like Dasani, like the water
Dasani.
bottles. But
It is.
that's probably not right.
Maybe it is. I should watch the movie, because there's a like live action movie,
Oh,
and just to know how it's pronounced.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, once again, thank you, Luden. You want to close out? I feel
Um,
like you were about to do a closing.
yeah, I can do a closing. If you liked this episode, please leave a like. If you didn't like the episode, please leave a dislike, because that's still engagement.
If you didn't like the episode, I say leave a like. Just
please,
for fun.
Please tell us your thoughts in the comments. Please check out Crash, really important. If you don't comment, if you don't like, please at least check out Crash, because he does content better than we do, and you should definitely check him out. Yeah, and I think that's everything I have to say.
And yeah, thank you, Crash, for coming on to this episode.
Yes,
thank you. It was fun.
it was fun. It was 2 hours. We are at 2 hours and 6 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.